Your check engine light just came on, and the code is pointing straight at the EGR valve. You jump online, watch a few videos, and suddenly everyone is promising you can fix this with a can of spray cleaner and zero effort. Sounds great, but before you run to the parts store, you need to hear what those videos are leaving out, because most of them are setting you up for failure. Here is the truth. The spray method only works on valves with light carbon buildup as preventative maintenance. If your EGR valve is blocked enough to trigger a check engine code, spraying cleaner into the intake almost certainly will not fix it. After going through hundreds of forum threads from diesel mechanics and real owners who tried every method, the picture becomes clear. This problem is far more complicated than a short video suggests. By the end of this video, you will understand what the spray method actually does, why it keeps failing on blocked valves, and what methods genuinely get the job done. So first, let us talk about why EGR valves get blocked. The EGR system takes exhaust gas and recirculates it back into the intake to lower combustion temperatures and reduce emissions. The problem is that exhaust gas carries soot and unburnt fuel particles. Over thousands of miles, those particles build up inside the valve and harden into thick carbon deposits that look like black tar. Short trips and city driving are the worst offenders, because the engine never gets hot enough to burn those deposits away. Low-quality fuel speeds up the buildup even further. Eventually, the carbon restricts how the valve moves. It either sticks open and causes rough idle and poor power, or it sticks closed and throws a low flow code on your dash. Now let us get into the spray method and what it is actually doing. The popular approach involves spraying EGR cleaner or throttle body cleaner into the intake, while the engine runs around 2,000 RPM. Brands like Wins, Liquimoli, and various generic options get used for this. The theory is that the cleaner travels through the system and dissolves carbon inside the EGR valve. The reality is completely different. When you spray into the intake, it gets pulled straight into the combustion chambers almost immediately. Most of it burns up long before it gets anywhere near the EGR valve. And here is the bigger issue. The EGR system moves exhaust gas from the exhaust manifold into the intake for that spray to reach the actual valve. It would have to travel backwards against that exhaust stream. It simply cannot do that. Forum after forum, owner after owner reports the same result. Either the truck runs slightly better for a couple hundred miles and the problem comes right back, or nothing changes. One member on a VW diesel forum said it perfectly. No spray is going to touch hard carbon unless it is oven cleaner. And you definitely do not want to run that through your engine. There is one situation where spray cleaning can genuinely help, and that is light preventative maintenance on a valve that is not blocked yet. If you do a lot of short trips and want to slow down carbon accumulation before it causes problems, using EGR cleaner every few thousand miles can make a difference. Think of it like flossing. It prevents buildup, but it does not fix a problem that is already there. If your valve has already thrown a code, or your engine is running rough, the spray approach is not going to solve it. What spray cleaners do effectively is clean the inside of the intake manifold and the intake valves. When you spray into the intake, it dissolves the oily carbon sludge coating those pipes. Removing that sludge can improve airflow and throttle response, which is why some people notice smoother running after using these products. But that improvement comes from a cleaner intake, not a cleaner EGR valve. And there is a downside. All that loosened carbon gets pushed downstream into your engine and potentially into your DPF. You are not solving the problem. You are just moving it further down the line. If your EGR valve is genuinely blocked, there is only one reliable solution. Remove it and clean it by hand. You need basic tools, wrenches or sockets for the mounting bolts, a screwdriver for the hose clamps, and the right cleaning supplies. Carburetor cleaner, throttle body cleaner, or brake cleaner all work, because these solvents dissolve carbon on direct contact. Pull the valve off, spray cleaner into every passage, and use a wire brush, old toothbrush, or picks to scrape out the hardened deposits. For valves with heavy buildup, soak them in cleaner for several hours. The key is combining chemical dissolving with physical scraping. Spray alone will not remove hard carbon. You need both. One critical point. The EGR valve itself is often not even where the worst blockage is sitting. The real restriction is usually inside the EGR cooler and the intake manifold passages. If you only clean the valve and ignore everything else, the problem will return quickly. This is exactly why professional EGR cleaning services exist. Professional shops charge between $150 and $300 depending on your vehicle. They remove the entire EGR system, the valve, the cooler, and all associated pipes. Everything gets disassembled and cleaned individually. For the EGR cooler, which has very narrow internal passages, shops use ultrasonic cleaners, pressure washing, or chemical baths. The intake manifold gets removed and cleaned too. On some diesels, those intake passages are 80% blocked with carbon. After cleaning, they reassemble and verify EGR flow rates with diagnostic equipment to confirm the system is working correctly. It costs more and takes longer, but it is the only method that truly resolves a blocked EGR system. If you want to tackle this yourself, here is the realistic approach. Remove the EGR valve if your vehicle allows reasonable access, and clean it thoroughly with carburetor cleaner and brushes. While the valve is off, look into the intake manifold opening, spray cleaner inside, and scrape out whatever you can reach. Clean the EGR cooler too, if it is accessible. This approach costs around $20 in supplies and takes 1 to 3 hours. Will it completely fix a severely blocked system? Probably not. But it can improve things enough to clear the light and give you time before a professional service or replacement. Sometimes cleaning is simply not worth the effort. If the valve is mechanically worn, has a failed solenoid, or is so packed with carbon that cleaning cannot restore it, replacement makes more sense. Aftermarket EGR valves run $100 to $300, while ohm units cost $200 to $600. Installation takes 1 to 2 hours if you do it yourself. Consider replacing rather than cleaning if the valve has over 100,000 miles on it, if you have already cleaned it multiple times, or if cleaning only gives you a brief window before the problem returns. So here is the bottom line. Can you clean an EGR valve without removing it using spray cleaner? Technically, yes. Realistically, probably not effectively. Spray works for light preventative maintenance and cleaning the intake manifold, but it will not fix an actual blockage inside the valve. If your EGR is causing real problems, you need to remove it and clean it properly, or take it to a shop for a complete system service. Do not waste money on can after can, expecting different results. 1 can as a test is fine. If that first application does not move the needle, 5 more will not either.